Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the RBC Virtual Black Diamond Ball Workshops. Over the next hour, we're really excited that we'll have some best practices and some insights into how to set up your small business or medium-sized or great idea business and how to expand your reach into new markets even faster with your digital presence. I'm Chinyere Eni-McLean, Vice President for Commercial Financial Services in RBC's Toronto East region.
And I'm Tyson Jones, Director of Financial Advisory Services for RBC. So tonight, we're going to walk you through creating a business plan, and Chinyere will walk you through the launching online. So we have an action-packed hour ahead of us with questions at the end, so let's get started. All right, so creating a business plan. There are many important reasons for developing a robust business plan. Some of the benefits include helping you describe your business in a clear and succinct manner, also using it to evaluate your progress in starting and running your business and reaching your business goals. Another reason could be evaluating possible new business opportunities that you didn't think of before or that weren't available to you at the time. And then lastly, and one that is very important to a lot of folks, is supporting a loan request, as it will show your financial advisor how you will be able to repay the loan. And probably the most important one actually is studies show that entrepreneurs who start with a written business plan are more successful than those who don't. So essentially, a business plan will help you take your original idea and bring it to life. It'll be the map that will turn your vision into a successful and fully functioning business. Moving forward, running a business plan guides you to think through your business concept as you start, manage, and grow your business. It lets you fine-tune and consider better ways of doing things and should be as strong as the dream you have for your business idea. Clients of ours and business owners will tell you a business plan is a living document. That is to say, once you start running your business, chances are some of your ideas will go exactly according to plan, while others won't quite line up. So once you start running your business, you should refer back to your business plan and use it to help you evaluate your progress and figure out exactly where you need to make changes. So it's important that you revisit your business plan every year and adjust it based on changing conditions. So what are the key elements of a business plan? The 7 key components include an introduction, a description of your team, and your business, your marketing plan, and a rundown of your day-to-day operations, financial business statements, an assessment of your business risks, and finally, your conclusions. So we're going to go through them one by one. So on to the next slide. If you're submitting your business plan to an investor or a financial institution, it's a really important section. The introduction of your business plan sets the stage and tone for your audience. The introduction should include a cover page, a table of contents, and executive summary. As for the cover page, it should be attention-grabbing, maybe with a powerful image that shows your business in action and your business logo. It should be nice and prominent. Your table of contents should be well organized, not too long, but make it easy to follow. The executive summary is really the most important part of your business plan, since many investors will read it first and, quite honestly, they may not even look at the rest of your plan. So we'll go further into the executive summary on the next slide. So moving forward. So the executive summary is where you grab the attention of the reader by highlighting key information about your business. So ideally, it should not exceed 1 page. Even though the executive summary leads off the business plan, it should be the last thing you write after you've completed the other parts of your business plan. This way, when you select the most relevant information from your business plan and include it in your executive summary. My next slide actually shows an example of an executive summary. And as you can see, this sample of an executive summary is very factual and answers those key questions we talked about on the previous slide. So what I'm going to do is I'll actually just read through this executive summary, and I see that the font is pretty small here. So if you could just go back 1 slide there on the screen. Perfect. If you can just stay there. Michael's business, so I'll just read it out here. Michael's Business Center is a startup business providing clients with photocopying, fax transmittal, and reception services and access to self-serve computer workstations with a full array of software and internet capabilities. The Canadian retail business services industry currently generates $350 million in annual sales, and a revenue for the Oakville market is estimated at $3 million. The major growth trend towards self-employment and home-based businesses has created a need to provide specialized support services. So most new businesses can simply not afford the substantial investment in technology and equipment that can be assessed on an as-needed basis through companies such as Michael's Business Services. In Canada, the number of new small businesses has grown at an unprecedented rate, with most of the growth concentrated in Southwest Ontario and Alberta. As sole proprietor, I bring over 20 years of both technical repair and sales experience from a large office equipment manufacturer. I have a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Toronto, and my technical background will give me great skills to manage the operation of the photocopy equipment. My recent move into sales in the past 5 years has given me the skills for dealing with customers, creating my personal business plan, and most importantly, closing sales. Based on the size of the market and our defined trading area, our sales projections for the first year are $335,000. My salary will be $40,000. To date, I've completed market research and secured the lease at an exceptional location in the core of Oakville's downtown shopping and business district. I've pre-negotiated equipment lease rates and received order commitments from over 24 businesses in the area. As a retail store with a first-class location, the company will enjoy walk-in traffic, but will focus on newspaper advertising, direct mail, and direct selling to aggressively build our client base within the first year. So that's a snapshot of an executive summary. Now, you can go a little bit longer, you can go a little bit shorter, but what you want to capture is, if you have to put everything on one page, you want to make sure that you have the most material aspects of your business on one page. And this is just a sample executive summary for you, just to get a sense as to what it would look like. So let's move on to the next slide. So the team. A business is only as strong as the people who breathe life into it, and that includes you. So in this section, you should talk about your skills and strengths, as well as those of the people on your team. If you have a team, clarify who and or they will help your build your business, and what qualifications everyone brings to the role. If you have a board of advisors, list their credentials. Professional services, this is where you list your partners like your lawyer, accountant, banker, and any consultants. In the human resources section, this is where you can address labor, compensation, and training of employees. So let's move forward. So next, you need to define the business environment. In this section, you'll need to outline the work you've done so far to start your business. Or if it's already operating, detail for how long and your sales figures. Describe some of the industry trends, along with growth prospects of the industry. So, for example, like, why is it going to succeed? It's always beneficial to include any relevant research and statistics you can dig up. Provide a description of the product or service you'll be selling. What makes it unique? Where will you focus your sales efforts? What is your target market? How will you carve out a position for yourself within the existing industry? All of this information will build your case as to why your concept will succeed. Let's move on. Now, the marketing plan. This should include everything you're going to do to get those customers. Now, first of all, who are your customers? Is it everyone in the neighborhood? Is it in the city? Is it other businesses or individuals? Describe who they are. Provide an estimate of the total size of your target market and the geographical area you will be focusing on. Now, what makes your service or product unique? You have to sell its features and benefits and explain why people are going to want it and how they'll use it. Of course, you're planning on making money, but how much should you charge? You'll need to factor in how much it costs to make your product or deliver your service. Calculate your expenses and look at how much your competitors are charging. Describe how and where you plan on selling your product or service. Investors will want to know all of the different people and companies involved in getting your product to your customers. If you're going to be selling it from a website, explain payment and shipping details. Describe how your business is going to advertise. How much of your budget are you looking to allocate for advertising and marketing material? Where and how are you going to advertise? Provide an overview of your competition, how they go to market, how your business will compete to win business against them. Research the methods of advertising you want to use and make calls, finding out how much it actually costs. Sometimes we think it's actually going to cost less than it actually does. If you don't have the expertise to design a website or an ad, hire someone who does. You want to project a professional image to your customers. These are all key points that we think you should cover in your marketing plan. So let's move on to the next slide. So in the operations section, you'll need to provide the stage of development your business is currently in. Is it still just a thought in your head, or is it your product already being manufactured or service delivered? You'll need to outline the step-by-step process of manufacturing or procuring your product or delivering your service. Explain any quality control measures you have in place. This part of your business should show that you have a complete understanding of the entire process involved. A lot of questions need to be answered in this section, such as which suppliers will you be using? Have you negotiated costs? How long does it take to produce or deliver your product? How will you start producing? Readers need to know that you have thought all of this through. So let's move on to the next slide. Now the finance. So the finance section is your opportunity to determine how strong your business is financially. And it's very important to be realistic in your financial projections. So let's go through them one by one. Your business will have two types of expenses. You'll have one-time expenses and operating expenses. The one-time expenses are costs you incur only once, and usually it's while setting up your business, while operating expenses are ongoing costs you'll have to pay every month. Calculating these expenses before you start your business is important, because when you plug them into your cash flow statement, they reveal how much startup financing you actually need to get your business up and running. Now, a cash flow statement, this is a reflection of how much money your business has at a particular point in time. It lets you see fluctuations in cash flow and should be prepared on a monthly or even a quarterly basis to help you proactively deal with any cash flow problems. An income statement shows your profit or loss for a particular period of time. It details all the revenues, expenses, and other costs. It can be done on a monthly or quarterly basis as well, and it's pretty much an accounting tool used to measure a business's performance. Now, a balance sheet, this is a snapshot of the financial state of your business at a particular point in time. It outlines your assets, liabilities, and equity, and helps you know the net worth of your business. So whether you're doing the accounting yourself or getting someone else to do it, you can see how important it is to stay on top of completing these statements on a regular basis. So let's move on to the next slide. So risk and conclusions. Now, every business has some degree of risk. So take the time to think through all the possible risks your business could face. Like, be honest, take them seriously, because thinking ahead can prevent problems from happening in the future. For example, the economy always has a risky effect on any business. Just think of the pandemic we're in right now. Competitors are also another risk. Having a key team member get sick can change things. Not having enough money for advertising could also impact your business. Detail how you plan to minimize or address these risks. Remember, the most important reason for writing a business plan is that it helps you plan before you open or start your business operation, and it also helps you manage your business. In the conclusion section, clearly restate your goals and objectives. And if the purpose of your business plan is to get financing, clearly state the amount required and what it will be used for. Your conclusion section should be concise, clear, and leave a positive impression. So let's move forward onto the last slide here. So once you finish and follow your business plan, you can't forget about it. Take the time to review your business plan often, at least annually, if not more frequently. Make sure you're tracking what you have set out to do. If your objectives have changed, make sure you reflect that in your plan. Remember, this is a living document that will evolve as your business and circumstances change. I hope that I gave you a deeper understanding and greater confidence when it comes to creating your business plan. If you require additional information or need a refresher, you can visit our Starting a Business section on our RBC website, www.rbc.com/startingabusiness.com. Starting a business, no .com at the end. At the end of the session, we're going to have questions, but for now, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Chinyere, who's going to walk us through launching online.
All right, thank you so much, Tyson, and good evening, everyone, again. Really happy to start our next segment, which is launching your business online. I think since March 2020, we can all agree that how we buy has changed. So from curbside pickup to local delivery to using real-time apps to access goods and services, life has changed for all of us. So why don't we dig in and we'll get started. We'll head to the next slide. The fact that you're here and you're dialed in means that you're either already a business owner or you're thinking of starting your own business and you've realized the importance of getting online. Maybe you're struggling with how to even start or how to sell online. And today we're going to spend some time talking about some general ways to get you started. And I'm really looking forward to your questions at the end. So it goes without saying that 2020 has been an unprecedented and tumultuous year for all of us. And we'll get into the next slide, please. According to a recent RBC Thought Leadership poll, which was called Small Business, Big Pivot, Canada's small business owners have been particularly hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic, and they've experienced double the amount of job losses that we've seen in medium and larger businesses. You've probably had to make hard decisions about your employees and how to keep your business running. The report also found that there are opportunities to be found. There's still opportunity out there. And it's being dictated from our work from home, our shop from anywhere mindset, our sell to everywhere marketplace that's really emerging in the pandemic's wake. We are becoming a virtual economy. With retail sales in Canada, and they fell really strongly in April due to COVID-19, online sales still totaled $3.4 billion, which is an increase of 120% versus the same month the last year. And that doesn't even include all of us shopping on Amazon. So I'm sure many of you, like me, have done a little too much of this as you've been working from home if you have. Even though some small businesses span sophisticated and tech science companies and creative industries that can thrive in the new economy, we still have a way to go. In 2017, nearly half of Canadian firms had fewer than 500 employees, and they didn't have a website, according to Stats Can. And of those that did, fewer than 10% were enabled for online payments. Now that we've set the groundwork on how our economy has changed, let's talk about getting it online. And we'll go to the next slide, please. So we're going to move one slide forward because it looks like I'm moving a little bit faster this evening. Thanks so much. So let's talk a little bit about what the term online and what it really means. Think about your cell phone. How many people here would be completely lost without it? Now that's because we have access to instant information. If I'm out shopping for a new sofa, I can use my phone. I can find furniture stores near me. I can see who's got the better deal. I can read the reviews and get directions, and I'm on my way. Being online can be broken down to a few basics. At its most simplistic, it means having an online or digital presence, just being there. It usually starts with a website and a digital form of communication, such as an email address or a contact us form on your site, so that customers can really reach out to you. A website gives the opportunity to get to know you and your products and services a little bit better. The website can be basic with pictures and just contact information, or it can be more complex and include your pricing, as well as the ability and power to purchase online. To further add to your online presence, you can also use social media, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, where you can connect with existing and potential customers as well as your community. Let's take a look at some of the ways that having an online presence provides a huge business benefit to your business. We'll head into the next slide. So why is it important to be online? When you think about it, since we've become so accustomed to having instant access to information at our fingertips, it's almost essential for your business to have an online presence. Whether it's a mobile-friendly company information page, a website, or an e-commerce platform, a social media page, or a combination thereof, getting your business online is absolutely crucial. In these times, it's even more important than ever to provide customers with a seamless virtual experience that allows them to connect with you or buy from you from the comfort of their own home. So let's talk about some of the benefits of being online. First and foremost, as you see here, it makes it easy for customers to find you. Your first job is to make it easy for customers out there to access you. And if someone wants to find out about your business, they're going to search online. No matter if they're specifically looking for your business or they want to find a business that offers the same products and services that yours does. The second point is it provides an extension of your business that works 24/7. The internet gives your business such an effective platform for showcasing what you have to offer. In just a few simple clicks, your customers can see what you're all about day or night, and an online presence is really, truly an extension of your brand that keeps working when you're not. Even customers in different time zones will have access to information in just minutes. The third point is that it builds relationships with customers. Your online presence will give your business a brand voice and a personality that reflects you, and it can make your business more relatable and more tangible. It can be a great place for where customers can start to build a relationship with you and your platform. The fourth point is it markets your brand. Websites and social media platforms are excellent marketing tools. They can be such a cost-effective way to connect with people. Online marketing is extremely important for all businesses because it has a huge influence on the way customers make purchasing decisions. You'll see in the next couple slides how consumers have even indicated they look at companies in a negative light if they can't find them online. The shareability of your social media allows your customers to easily spread the word about your business to all of their friends. Another benefit that online marketing gives you is it's the opportunity to brand yourself in creative and very exciting ways. So don't get left behind. An online presence is one of the most important business investments that you can make. So we'll move ahead to the next slide. And we wanted to find out how important it really is for a business to be online. So we conducted a survey through Ipsos Reid. And the first question we asked participants was if they were more likely to purchase from a business if it had an online presence. And not surprisingly, 70% said yes. And then, of course, we asked why. And so you see here, about a third felt the online presence made them trust the business more. About another third felt that they were able to research the business online. It was convenient and accessible to them. They also felt that it was great that they could order products. And then the last point here is that that sense of trust really came from reading reviews and looking over the product information, getting a first gauge of whether or not they want to take that next step to getting into your business and making a purchase. So why don't we move forward to the next slide and some other interesting findings from the study. And that showed us that 61% agreed that they would support a local business by promoting them on social media, such as Facebook, Instagram, or even Twitter. Now, this could include writing a positive review, posting a comment or photo, or sharing a link to the site. That's free advertising, and better yet, digital word of mouth goes way beyond what you could ever pay for. And when it comes to buying stuff online, we know consumers are doing more and more of this. 78% agreed that they trust the security of using their credit card. It's becoming that much more critical in our digital economy. So what this shows is that it's not just about them finding your business online, it's also about selling your products and reaping rewards that go along with it, such as promoting your business, getting that brand visibility, and saving money for your operations. About building trust and credibility, as you saw in the previous survey, and that's ultimately helping you achieve developing a long-lasting relationship with your customers who do identify with that brand presence. After all, being online provides you with 24/7 marketing, and it lets you listen to your customers and provide them with the options that they want. Don't be scared to read the reviews. It will make your business stronger. After all, 88% agreed that they would support a local business over a big box company, which means you have more of an opportunity to connect with your customers. So why don't we move forward? That brings us to the next stage of being digitally enabled, setting up a website for your business. And creating a website for your business can really be easier than you think. So first and foremost, you can do it yourself. If you have the skills and you want to keep costs down, and my tip here is that if you don't know about domains or IP addresses or metadata or what responsible web design is, it means you probably shouldn't go this alone and at least get a tech-savvy friend to help you out. Another option is you could hire a web developer or online marketing agency, and you could do that for a modest cost using content management software instead of having a website custom developed for you. And becoming more common is an all-inclusive website or an e-commerce online platform such as Bookmark that makes building and maintaining a top-notch site easy and efficient. And usually you get just some shelf-ready help from an outside expert with implementation. And with that approach, we'll go into the next slide. Before you start, determine your objective for the site. What's the desired outcome here? These discussions will guide you on how to develop it going forward. What do you want your users to see and feel? What action do you want them to take? If your competitors have sites, browse through them, determine what works and what you would do to improve the experience. If you operate a service business, you'll want to promote your services and showcase some of your previous jobs. Take the time to include some client testimonials, some before and after photos if you have them, whenever possible. And you can also use your site to generate leads from prospective customers looking for your services. You want to consider your website your storefront or your feature window that showcases your products in an attractive way that can make it easy for the user to navigate. Always remember to include your contact details, of course, so that customers can drop you in a line or shop and reach for more information. And at this time, answering how is just important. How can someone shop with you? Online, offline, curbside, by phone? It's a good idea to list all available options. In today's environment, customers also appreciate owners who post new safety and PPE standards. So that's personal protective equipment on their website. How are they maintaining the safety and security of their customers that are shopping with them? So customers can really know what they can expect in that experience. And think mobile first. This is a really important one, and I'm going to make reference to the March 2019 Stats Canada survey of Canadian internet users, which said that 46% say they use the mobile device to make a purchase. Given 2.8 million Canadians made online purchases last year, the number of mobile shoppers is really significant. Making sure you prioritize providing a seamless mobile shopping experience could really and truly tip the scales between closing a sale versus shopping elsewhere. You can also consider selling your products through your website by updating to an e-commerce site. So I really wanted to take the opportunity to look at that next. So why don't we move forward to the next slide? So now you have your business set up, your website, and you want to start selling your products online. You really will need an e-commerce site. So let's be realistic. The way customers are shopping has rapidly evolved, and you'll need to have the ability to sell in multiple channels. Our primary advice when it comes to setting up an e-commerce site is to work with a service provider. Leveraging their expertise will allow you to quickly and efficiently launch your e-commerce site. Do a search of available providers and choose one that meets your needs. If you don't have a website today, but you plan on selling online, consider an all-inclusive platform that not only provides a website, but an integrated e-commerce engine such as Moneris's online book business plan. It not only helps you build your website when it powers your e-commerce engine as well, and it makes a secure and fast way for customers to use their credit card to make purchases on your site. Some things you need to consider when you're developing an e-commerce site include, first, product presentation. The better a photo is, the more accurate of an understanding a customer can have of your product. High resolution is critical. Have photos that can zoom in and show the small details of the product, because that can really become a deciding factor for an undecided shopper. Really recommend considering having professional photos taken of your product so that you the best way possible. Next, consider a digital inventory management system. You have to ensure that you have sufficient inventory to meet the demand in all your channels. If inventory is low or you're low in stock, update your site so that your customers know the status before they purchase. Fortunately, there's so many great services out there today that allow you to easily integrate your online and offline sales. For example, point of sale platforms automatically monitor your inventory so that if you sell something in the store, the quantity is updated immediately on your website too, which means you don't have to reconcile manually or get caught up and unable to fulfill the sale. If you're on your own as a business owner, this can make a huge difference in your efficiency. Consider how you'll be accepting a payment. The last thing you want is for your customers to abandon a full cart because they can't figure out how to pay or their preferred method isn't available. We can work with you on solutions such as the one that I mentioned previously, Moneris, And you can also consider PayPal or a service provider that may have a solution within their system. Also, many businesses that sell online accept Canadian as well as foreign currencies. US dollars is still the most common, but depending on your business, you might need to make arrangements to accept other currencies as well. Another key component of your e-commerce site will be shipping, as well as accepting returns. Finding a shipping company, perhaps Canada Post, UPS, that will work with you to develop an efficient and cost-effective shipping program that will help you meet your delivery guarantees. Depending on your volumes, you may want to consider having an employee or a team dedicated to your website. That way you can be sure that your site is maintained, that it's up to date, it's optimized, and that's going to match your consumer trends and preferences in the moment. Plus, if you run sales or other promotions, your team can stay on top of all of the start and end dates. So why don't we move into our next slide? The old adage of if you build it, they will come certainly doesn't apply to online marketing. Once you have your site up and running, it takes a lot of activities to help potential customers find you and to drive demand and the conversion once they visit to turn them into your loyal customers. Some things you really need to consider are, first and foremost, setting up your Google listing. Registering your business with Google My Business just takes minutes and it's free. Once your profile is activated, potential customers have an easy access to your location, your website, and even can call you in from a Google search page. Next, optimize your search. Search engine optimization is the process of optimizing your website so users searching for related products, services, and businesses will find yours easily. Optimizing your site for search engines is thinking about what the user's and search intent is. And that means doing a bit of role playing as the customer. Put yourself in the customer's shoes and think about what they're searching for. The term SEO or service engine optimization also describes the process of making website pages easier for search engines like Google to find, to scan, and index your site. Search engine algorithms are pretty complex, and the most important thing is that they're looking for high quality, relevant information that matches the user's search. And relevance is determined by reading your site's content. That's why if you sell sneakers, the word sneakers should figure predominantly in your site's content. The algorithm that takes into consideration how quickly your site loads and its mobile friendliness. As you start seeing a stream of visitors, find ways to engage with them. Beyond updating your site, make it obvious that it's current. So much is changing in today's environment. You want to eliminate any guesswork and let your customers and your prospects know that your hours and protocols are really up to date. Consider adding a blog or demonstrating that your business is active, open, and really staying relevant. And now we'll move into the next slide. So now you want to know how to reach your customers online. Now you know how to reach your customers online. What's the best way for your business to actually connect with them? A hub and spoke model is usually used to describe the role your website can play in relation to social media channels. While your website is your hub, where your main information will reside, you can amplify your content and engage with customers and prospects using spokes such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. These are great channels for creating excitement, promoting deals, and introducing contests and more. As we've discussed, it's a good idea to get yourself up and running on social media sites relevant to your business. If you're not already familiar with them, spend some time on them to see which ones are right for your business. And of course, the best part is that they're free. If you have income coming in already for your small business, think about hiring someone to take care of your social media platform. Someone who is trained in writing specifically for social media, because it's very different from other types of advertising. These platforms allow you to post messages about new products, sales events, and maybe even new locations opening. You could post contests, provide information about upcoming community events like a barbecue or any community volunteer work that you might do. You can also create a gallery of photos or products that your customers are using. You can answer messages and posts from your customers as well as any complaints so that they get addressed right away. And customers can easily and quickly share posts of positive testimonials about you and your business. In today's environment, you can also do live demos of your products on most online platforms, as well as Facebook live chats to connect with customers from the comfort of everyone's home. Essentially, it can help you build your brand image and connect you in on a more human level with customers. If your personal experience using social media is limited, look for a local course that will help you navigate, or a really good tip here is to ask your kids if you have any, because they're probably really good at this. So why don't we head into the next slide? So today, we talked about what it means to get your business online and some of the benefits. Then we talked about how people's expectations are changing and how the trend for consumers to prefer more online presence, whether it's just to help them with research or even purchasing online. The next topics we covered were to provide an overview of basic web design, establishing an e-commerce website, and promoting your website in an engaging social media platform. Whatever size or type of your business, getting online is a critical step to succeeding in this new environment. The country is reopening, shopping trends have changed, and preferences may vary greatly across your customer base. Giving shopping options across multiple channels and creating an excellent experience across those channels may not only help you maintain customers, but potentially attract new buyers to your business. I really hope that you found this presentation informative. And of course, we have a robust library of articles on our Discover and Learn blog, which include learning more information about how to take your business online. And we've created a brand new website just for small business owners called rbc.com/small business navigator. So I would definitely encourage that if you've taken the time to be here tonight, that you take a few minutes post-call to take a look at that site. We all have unique business needs, and I encourage you also to take that time to connect with an RBC advisor if you have questions, so that we can sit down and discuss solutions that will help you set up your business for success. So really appreciate all of you and your time today. Thank you so much, and we're really happy to take any questions from the listeners on the line. Now, hopefully you will warm us up. We are ready.
Okay, I think we got a couple questions.
Okay. So we'll go to the event tab here. Let's take a look. Let me know if you can access Tyson, because I'm not seeing it myself. Unless some of our team can post it in the chat for us, that would be great.
So I got the first one here. I am starting an international intermediary business based in more than one country. Should I write a business plan for each country? Who will be my competitors and target audience? Thank you. Good question. It seems like a complex business if you're starting out and you have a business in multiple countries. I would say create one business plan. If your business model changes based upon the country, then you might want to outline exactly how you're making money, what are the expenses that are taken to change your business to go into that other country. But I think the main thing is that you want to articulate how you're going to be doing business in each country if it is different.
Perfect. So there's also some great resources in market that can help you. There is something called the Trade Accelerator Program that can help you move outside of the primary market where you're comfortable and help you really develop the business plan that you'll need to enter into that local market, which will function differently. So I would encourage you to take a look at our site. The Trade Accelerator Program is also a great resource for information, and there are workshops that can be provided that will help you develop that that international presence that you're talking about, to really help you think of some things that will help you be successful in that environment. So 2 great resources here, and congratulations on taking your business global. That's fantastic.
Seems like the next question here says, what are the top 2 elements for the executive summary? I'm assuming that's what ES means. And so I would say, if you're looking at your executive summary, I don't know if I'd deduce it down to the top 2 elements. The main goal is you want to have a proper description of how your business makes money. What are the main items within the business that are key to its success? You'd want to know what the differentiation is of your business in comparison to your competitors, as well as you want to articulate what is it going to take for your business to be successful. So Similar to my comments within the presentation, you probably want to go through your whole entire business plan and outline what are the key success factors, but as well as some of the challenges, and deduce that into one page. And so that will make up your executive summary. And business can be complex, so from business to business, the top two elements can change and evolve. And remember, it's a living document. So what you really want to do is just ensure that the executive summary is purposeful, but accurately describes the value of your business.
Absolutely. And maybe while we're waiting for our next question, I'll share that let's acknowledge that everyone has a lot on their plates these days given the pandemic and what's happening. And so don't assume your reader is going to make it through the whole executive summary. I love what Tyson said about key success factors, and make sure that they stand out so clearly in your first couple sentences to get that impact that you're looking for with any audience and reader. Now, do we have any other questions that are coming in so far? Have anything else come in? I know we have a number of folks on the line, so please don't be shy.
Okay. I see one here. For your business plan, what do you do if you don't have a team? If you're a solopreneur, I don't foresee myself hiring people to work in the business. Oh, sorry. All of you are now adding questions in the chat, and I'm not scrolling fast enough. So let me just repeat the last question here. So for your business plan, what do you do if you don't have a team? As a solopreneur, I don't foresee myself hiring people to work in the business immediately, but rather I would contract people for specific jobs. That's a great question, and you don't need to have a team, so to speak. I think being lean is always the best way to go. The key thing is when you have a team, you have reliable resources to be able to unlock the potential of your business. And so when you have team members on payroll, there's elements within your business in which you can rely upon to be able to do things, because most of the time when you do have a small business, and many of you small business owners will know this, you're wearing multiple hats. And so if you rely upon contractors, which you said in your question there, if that's what you're thinking of, contractors typically are specialists. So they do one or two things very well. But as we outlined in the business plan, there's certain risks. So sometimes, things go wrong, whether it is one person, getting sick, or you have a competitor come in, or, your product, you want to shift products. And so sometimes that will require folks to put on more hats. So if you have a team with you, you're a little bit more flexible as to what the business can actually do to shift and ensure that you're successful in the future, versus if you were just a solopreneur and you contracted all the work out, it might cost more money, and you'll be relying upon a specialist that may not be able to pivot and do something else that's outside of their skill set.
I think that's an excellent answer, and lean and mean is often a great way to start to keep that overhead low. Absolutely.
Okay. So we have one question. What are the best businesses to start in this climate? Maybe something COVID proof. What small businesses are doing well? If I had the answer to that, I don't know if I'd be giving myself my own advice in starting my own business. But one thing in which I'd say is maybe if I take that question in a different direction. What we've been seeing in this climate is, of course, nobody can predict a pandemic. And so that has offered a lot of challenges for business owners. And, because we were not able to foresee this, both business owners, banks, everybody for that matter, there's been some things in which, some businesses haven't been successful. One of the key traits that I would say that have helped businesses overcome some of the challenges so far is, one, the passion in which they have in the business, their willingness to shift and pivot and look at new markets. And I think part of the reason why we chose the topics create a business plan and launch online was because there are a lot of businesses that shifted and made their business digital. So before, it may have been only storefront and only selling face-to-face. So I would say those who are flexible and able to pivot and go online and sell their product digitally, as well as make it available for customers to search and shop online, those are the ones that have survived. And I think the business owners that were able to pivot and do that were the ones that were most successful. And so I would say, if you are to start a business, make sure that you have an online presence and make sure that you stay lean. So that would be my recommendation for anybody who's looking to start a business in this environment.
Absolutely. Maybe while we're waiting, I'll just tag on. I couldn't agree more, Tyson. I think that your area of expertise and your sweet spot should guide your thinking. And given COVID, and we all know things can happen now more than we ever felt they could before. And so anticipate what could go wrong. Be thoughtful around how quickly you're going to grow. Make sure that you are really comfortable with the niche that you're carving out for yourself and what that COVID or future COVID impact could be when it comes to that small business. And I love the passion comment. I think that when it comes to small business owners, that's where we get a lot of energy from. And so if you bring that passion, you're going to be much more successful than if you're just looking to make some income on the side. And so I couldn't agree more, and definitely wish I had that crystal ball too.
Okay. Question here.
We have
you can take that next one, Chinyere.
Sure. So we have a question here saying, I'm looking to start a business to find investors for companies in India. The returns are great. However, the risk rating for the country might be a factor. What can I do to address the risk rating and give some comfort to the investors? Interesting question. And so when you say risk rating, I'm thinking that that this might give some trepidation to investors. So I would say that you want to start with education. You want to make sure that you outline the key risks proactively to investors and how you're going to mitigate those risks and be successful operating in an environment. So I'm not sure here from the question if you're looking to India because that's an area that you have familiarity and comfort, and as the manager or owner of the business that you would be really ready to take on operating in that environment. So whatever you can do to provide comfort around how the mitigants are in place to manage the risk rating, how you're going to navigate successfully, and how you have the relationships to be able to do so, and that you can overcome any roadblocks that have been identified, I think that would be the best position to start from, and that is being open about what the risks are and how you're going to manage them. So Tyson, I'd welcome you here because this is a very interesting one. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a great question, and many business owners in which we deal with that do export or do want to start a business selling in another country or in another country. Typically, to de-risk the business, we recommend that they sell in other countries as well. And so a great way of doing this is diversification. So either you help sell in another country or you sell multiple products. And then the other thing in which you want to think of as well is your suppliers. So having more than one supplier. When you're looking for investors to sell into India, for that matter, or any country in which you only have exposure into one country, I think it's extremely important that you diversify your business, whether that is who you're selling to, how you're manufacturing, or the number of products in which you do have. Plus, from a bank perspective, we do have instruments such as letters of credit, which help provide that safety for investors to show that, okay, if I'm going to be selling in a country, and we're using the example India because that was the one that was provided, if there is a scenario in which something does go wrong, a letter of credit can be helpful, or even getting insurance. Insurance is also another mechanism in which there's all different types of solutions that are available for businesses that have those type of circumstances. But I would say there are many options available to you. I think it's just a matter of speaking to your advisors, whether that is a banker, an accountant, or an insurance advisor in which you do have, but definitely there are options there for you. Okay, let's go to another question. What providers would you recommend for event payment and registration capabilities on a business website? Now, we just gave a presentation on launching online, and of course, what we're doing is we are translating and sharing a lot of the best practices in which we've seen from our clients. Now, as to who are those vendors or a business website in which we would recommend to you, really can't do that right now because I don't know, we don't have that expertise as to who are the good ones versus who are the bad ones, but we just know that business owners have carried forward certain processes to help themselves get online. But as to specific websites and vendors who are the best versus ones who are not as good as the best, that's something in which we would have to reserve for our clients to decide.
Great, couldn't agree more. Maybe I'll take this next question. In the presentation, you mentioned having an online presence enhances your business. But what are your thoughts about new business that want to operate exclusively online? How can not having a physical space help or hurt? So this is a great question, and one that is extremely timely when you think of what we're all going through. And you really want to be thoughtful around whether or not it's necessary for you to take on a physical space. And whether that's a critical business need for you at this time. If you're able to operate without and you're just getting started, not having that overhead or a cash flow commitment can really be helpful with you getting some capital and being able to ramp up or upskill your business. And so I would say that if it is a question you're asking, meaning it is an option, then you may want to consider having a conservative approach to when you take on a presence and being really comfortable that the presence that you do choose to operate in is a strategically important location for you that is going to be manageable from a cost perspective. And so, I think COVID is a great example of us to just really take that extra moment of pause to say, do I need this? And how can I rethink or reimagine how I do my business? And so if it means you're running to the post office and doing a bit more mailing and you're operating out of your home for that first year, you really might give yourself a bit more runway in your business and allow you to kind of handle the volatility that we're seeing in the economy right now. But I'd welcome Tyson if you want to chime in on this one as well, or if you want to go forward to another question.
Yeah, I think given the time that we have left, you answered that quite well, and I couldn't agree more. So let's go to the next question here. In this economic climate, capital funding is hard to come by. From all the possible online tools discussed today to increase visibility, what would you provide the best reach at a low cost? Good question, and let me think about that. Well, when you think about most social media platforms, so if you think about Facebook Marketplace, or you think about Instagram or Twitter, it really depends on what your need is. One thing in which we did not discuss at all is the ability to get advice. Now, this won't necessarily help you sell, right? But the ability to get advice, and something in which we've been seeing quite often is on Twitter, formation of groups of business owners who are sharing ideas as to how do they go to market, what are different ways in which they hire employees or increase benefits for employees, or what markets or structures for their business are the best. And so it ends up being an online community in which they actually use to get more experience, because in this environment, it is tough, as you say, and any advice in which you can get, no matter where it is beneficial. And so I know this is not a direct answer to your question, but it's something in which we haven't discussed, but it's something that I've seen quite often that is picking up steam, where you're in this virtual environment, you're seeing many business owners tackle challenges in front of them by having a community, and that community is being sourced primarily on Twitter. But if I were to answer your question directly as to which one would provide the best reach, it depends on where your target market is. So if your target market is, let's say, a younger demographic, and that younger demographic is typically on Instagram, then creating visibility on Instagram might be the best thing for you. If it is on Facebook, then you'd go Facebook. But I would say allow your target market to depict what is the best online tool, or at least best online marketplace for you to have that visibility.
For sure. Couldn't agree more, Tyson. And I'm just noticing time here, so maybe we'll go to one more question. Can you recommend a good company that can set up your online business? And so, yes, there's a number of them, and it is extremely easy and cost effective. So without recommending just one, I would recommend creating a website. If you Google creating a website, you will come up with a variety of options of personal websites that allow you to tailor whether you want to take a small business approach, whether you want to integrate an e-commerce platform, and you can do that very, very affordably, often for free to sign up. And then if you're comfortable after you play around with the tools on the site, then you'd be able to be billed at the end if you decide you want to publish or go live and really have it open and available in the marketplace on the internet. So I think that there's some great advertising out there. I won't recommend a specific company, but I would say any website creator, more and more you'll see the integrated e-commerce platform that we mentioned earlier in the presentation, and it will allow you to be thoughtful to say, what do I really need? Is it just that basic information? Is it a contact me, or is it I'm going to accept your payment option? And definitely would be something to take a look at and take advantage of the free trials to see if it's going to meet your needs from an efficiency perspective, and that it looks professional and applicable and easy to manage if it's you on your own that's going to be maintaining it. And Tyson, what do you think? Should we do one more question? A little bit of time.
Yeah. Here's a, so yeah, let's extend it a little bit more. So the question here is there a reliable database that has examples of business plans for various industries? Great question. I don't know of a database with business plans, other than Google might have some. But one thing in which we did mention in our presentation was our website, www.rbc.com/starting a business. And there is housed a lot of resources, different guides that address different components of your business plan, such as how to grow your business, how to start your business, how to manage your business. There's even things such as a loan calculator, gives you some tips as to how do you formulate a cash flow statement. So as far as templates for business plans, I think you might just have to search the internet. Occasionally, BDC does have some templates that are available. So I would really just search the internet. It's a sea of information, and you'll find all types of templates. So that's where I'd leave it there.
Absolutely, and the Navigator site, guys, is really good. It's step by step. So I think if if you want to start there, then it might give you some nuggets around where else you might want to dig in for more information, to Tyson's point. But no, it's a great question. I think these are all fabulous and helpful, hopefully, for many others on the line. So let's just see here if we missed any. And I think we've got them. No, this is great.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being with us. And we know that you have a bit of a networking opportunity. We encourage you to take advantage of that. And we're so grateful for you spending your time with us this evening. We really, really appreciate it. And we wish you much success on your journey with your business. So if you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to reach out, and we can always be of help to through our small business advisors, and make sure that we can give you a bit more tailored advice with your needs. So thanks so much, Tyson. It's fun. I love doing this with you.
Yes.
It's great.
Great, Terry.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a great day.
Take care.
All right. Bye now.